Hello and welcome back to another episode of Gabagool, Nate. My name is Wes Dawson and I'm coming to you direct from Gabagool Podcast Central. I'm telling you, it may be mid-May, but it is getting pretty swampy in here. I'm sweating. My undercarriage has got a little bit of weight to it right now. Just finished up some summer cleaning, and I thought, what better time to record a podcast than after I've been scrubbing stuff for 3 hours. I'm pissed off and have a giant splinter in the side of my thumb. It makes for a good narrative. And to add on to that, I got Mac the Wolfhound giving me this poor little sad puppy look because he wants to go home. As I said, it's pretty hot up in here. He's got a thick coat on him. But hey, if I can leave him in the car midsummer with the windows rolled up, I think he can last a few more hours in Gabagool Podcast Central. So this week's episode is aptly titled Shooting the Shit, because honestly, I have no particular format. I have no notes. I have nothing ready. But unlike the episode Raw Dogging It, which was an artistic exploration into the world of podcast improvisation, Shooting the Shit is just I ran out of time and I wanted to make sure I had an episode this Wednesday, so here we are. Now, usually in preparation to record an episode of Gabagool Nate, I have a particular routine I like to follow. Listen to a bit of music, I try to center my chi, I flick the spiritual bean, if you will, and I follow that up by 4 hours of tantric meditation, and then I'm ready to record about 8 minutes of content. Now, after Gabagool and 8's inaugural live episode, I got some feedback. Mostly, it was just high praise for the unrivaled quality podcast material that I'm putting out there. Although I did have some constructive criticism, if you will. Some people were saying, hey, Wes, stick to recordings. Maybe you can't wing it. Well, I got news for you, okay? People can say what they want. You know what? Actually, I'm going to make a point right here. To any of my haters, to anybody doubting me, just know this. You can burn my house, wouldn't care. You can steal my goddamn car. I wouldn't even be opposed if you drank all of my liquor out of an old fruit jar. You do anything that you want to do, but you don't question my improvisation. All right, well, let's get into it. A random thought in my head. The expression, have respect for the dead. What if you didn't respect somebody when they were living? I had somebody mention to me once, like, hey, don't talk like that about this person. He's, have some respect for the dead. I'm like, I didn't respect that piece of shit when he was alive. Why would it change now that he's dead? If anything, that'd be like cause for celebration, or maybe not celebration, but cause for rejoicing in the fact that I can shit talk him and there will never be a confrontation about it. One thing I never really liked were trends. Unless I'm setting them, not a big fan of that, when you got to change your hair, your clothing based on whatever magazine cover or post or whatever you see. I just always found it kind of strange. My particular style was kind of destroyed by hipsters, as I would usually just wear the most random shit I could possibly find. I wore slippers to high school. My roommates and I wore these beautiful nighties that we had found at a discount clothing store. But it's when I see people ripping off other people for no other purpose than trying to, ride the coattails of somebody who had a good idea. I don't like it. A few weeks ago, Lil Nas X had his song come out where he's, the gender fluid stripping on the devil thing. And then all I see on Instagram are these ads for bands, trying to do the exact same fucking thing. Come on. The guy had a good idea. He stirred the pot, got people talking. Jesus Christ. Give him a few months to at least relish in his own artistic work before you fucking scam the goddamn guy. Now, allow me to elaborate a little, as all too often and all too righteously, I shit on 90% of what I see posted online. Now, it's not that I don't necessarily like it, I just don't like the way that people accept the same carbon copy crap, and that's just fine. Lil Nas X, he's shown that you can be original. You can put out new content that gets people talking, that isn't a ripoff, that's really a true original idea. Then other artists shamelessly rip them off, and that's okay. People are just kind of complacent with that. But the problem is that is extended into social media. So yes, I rip on the old TikTok quite a bit, but for all the wasted opportunity and artistic potential that app has, it's just people regurgitating the exact same shit over and over. Now, if you oppose this or you criticize this, either you're just being toxic or you're too old and you just don't get it, pops or boomer or whatever the fuck is the term. Furthermore, if you can fill a 60-second post on all the reasons you're hard to date, guess what? Your partner isn't the problem. Maybe I am too old and I just don't get it. And I'm perfectly fine with that. I don't fucking want it. Unless this is a younger demographic listening to this episode, then yeah, fuck them boomers. Let's keep it lit. Let's eat some good times to each other. YOLO. Fucking Drake, let's do it. You want to talk about that drip? Fuck, I'm 34 and I already got to deal with incontinence. Speaking of Instagram, it made me wonder, growing up, I always feared the rise of the machines. I was pretty sure that Skynet at one point would become self-aware and would take over. And whenever I thought of the rise of the machines, I always thought it would be like artificial intelligence realizing we are the biggest threat, and robots, yes. A post-apocalyptic war, yes. Last thing I expected for the bots to be taken over is fucking Instagram comment sections. The amount of bots in these things, like promoted on Emperor Records or whatever the fuck, like, it's mind-boggling. And the thing is, if you're gonna spam my posts with these bot messages, at least give me a bot like. Can you not program that into it? At least throw me a like, then you can post as much fucking junk as you want in my comment section. Another thing I noticed while perusing the online platforms is this idea of cancel culture. Is this like entirely a Twitter thing? If so, great, because I never use that stupid app. But I was just wondering, because I've never really noticed like an Instagram, call to arms to like ban this thought from posting these sexy pictures. Never seen that. So I'm curious, is this purely a Twitter thing? I'd love to find out. So of course, like many people, I found myself 2:30 in the morning scrolling through Instagram Reels because I don't want to download TikTok, and it's basically the same thing, looking for stuff to criticize. Of course, I found a gold mine. There was this girl dancing around, saying like, hey, wear what you want. You could die tomorrow, so just be sexy, bitch. And she's wearing a little short skirt. And she's like, yeah, wear what you want. And then at the end, she does like a little pirouette, and she's like, gay rights. And that's the end of the clip. And I was like, I'm all for that. I just don't understand what the fuck that has to... I thought the point of the video was don't let people judge what you're wearing. Dress sexy because you could die tomorrow. But I don't understand this whole like tacking on some kind of social movement at the end. Is that supposed to add more value to the post? If someone could clarify this for me, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just put hashtag, gay rights on everything I do, even if it's something horribly offensive that I've said. I've also noticed a lot of people interviewing with a cell phone. Like they can't be bothered to have a mic or pretend to have a mic. Would it be that hard to cut the wire off like a Hitachi wand and use that as a microphone? It just seems the less effort you put into something, the better it does. I don't get it. Gabagool Nate should be fucking massive at this point. All right, well, here we are, nearing the end of the show. I can feel my crack sweat transferring onto the couch I'm sitting on, so that's the sign that, Wes, you better wrap things up. So upcoming for next week, I have a better prepared episode that is somewhat coherent. I also have the motorcycle episode. I'm not quite sure if it's going to be me shitting on them for 8 minutes or praising them. I'm not really sure. Up until I was recording a podcast, I couldn't care. But now I feel I may be the only person who wishes for rain on a Saturday afternoon so that I can record these in peace. So thank you for listening. This has been Gabagool Nate. My name is Wes Dawson. Please listen, like, share, and subscribe. And please don't judge me. I'm pretty sure I was dropped on my head as a child.